Pin the Tail on the Griffin by Bronystories. Read by Pascal. Chapter 1 Fappy Wanksgiving. After flying a good distance from Sugarlump Corner, Gideon the Griffin touched down in a tree. He had never been so thoroughly humiliated in all his life. To vent his anger, the Griffin slashed the tree's thick trunk with his talons. The party held in his honor did nothing but drive a wedge between him and his former cult friend. He felt nothing but contempt for the other partygoers. "What a bunch of total dweebs," Gideon said as he traced his talon across the deep gashes he made in the wood. "Making me look like an asshat in front of Rainbow Blitz." As he thought about his ex-cult friend's supple, athletic body, Gideon's griffinhood began to rise. "Blitz and I are 10 times as cool as the rest of those Ponyville pussies put together," he said angrily. "Now Rainbow hates me, all because of that lame-o." Gideon let out a melancholy sigh as he began to slowly jerk his shaft. Though his talons were strong enough to tear through tree trunks, the Griffin had learned how to use them to gently stroke his member. "You were always too cool for this place, Blitzy," Gideon said longingly. "Whatever happened to us?" The Griffin rested his back against the tree and enjoyed a pity masturbation session, more commonly known as wankst. Gideon's cold, textured bird claws felt amazing against his hot shaft. The Griffin moaned as he pictured Blitz's inviting back door. "What's wrong, Gideon-kun?" the imaginary Blitz taunted as he suggestively wiggled his ass cheeks. "Could it be you're craving my sonic rain booms?" As was often the case with winged mythical creatures, Gideon's arousal resulted in a massive wing boner. Pre-cum dribbled down his shaft as the Griffin groaned, stroking himself faster. He felt every vein, every fold of skin on his glorious, throbbing dick. With his other claw, the Griffin started fondling and massaging his furry balls. Gideon's prehensile lion-like tail wrapped itself around the branch where he was sitting. The Griffin moaned as his stimulated member caused euphoric sensations to swell within him. As Gideon continued to play with his balls, he moved his other hand off his shaft and cupped it around his cockhead, working his privates like a mortar and pestle. The Griffin hoped to grind out an orgasm. As Gideon sensed he was about to come, he glanced around to make sure no pony was headed his way. When the Griffin saw that the coast was clear, he flew up into the sky for a dramatic climax. Flying with a wing boner is like trying to run with feet that are asleep. The body moves without being able to feel a thing, while giving a tingling sensation at the same time. As he soared higher, both of Gideon's claws were furiously beating his meat. The Griffin strained and grunted, partially from trying to remain airborne, but mostly because he was about to ejaculate. He closed his eyes and pictured Rainbow Blitz sucking him off. "Oh, you give the best rain blowjobs," Gideon said fondly. The Griffin imagined the stallion's blue lips making a tight seal around his shaft as the pony's tongue tickled his tip. "Blitz," Gideon said, "I'm coming." The Griffin shot his load as he did an aerial somersault, spraying thick, gooey ropes of his birdseed in all directions. Below the Griffin, his sticky cum fell upon the grass, like a rain that was rich in protein. Landing on a cloud, Gideon lay back to enjoy the afterglow of his orgasm. The Griffin played with his now flaccid penis as he thought about rainbow glitz. He imagined his cult friend's firm stallionhood reaming his furry Griffin butt. However, once the temporary high had faded, the daydream stopped, and Gideon was forced back to his harsh reality. "It's all that pink pony's fault," Gideon said as he tore off a small piece of cloud and ripped it into tiny bits. "That butthole ruined everything." As he sat there sulking, a sly smile crossed Gideon's beak. "I groove on a good prank as much as the next Griffin," he said sinisterly. "Bubbleberry likes to play pranks, so I'll give him a prank he'll never forget." It was night at Sugarlump Corner when Gideon came sneaking around outside. The tall, slender Cherry Cake and her stout husband Cheesecake were off at a plot contrivance convention, leaving Bubbleberry to mind the store in their absence. The Pink Stallion was asleep in the upstairs bedroom. He wore bright pink pajamas with a matching pink cap that drooped down on one side of his face. The sound of gears turning and mechanical grinding woke the pony from his slumber. "I'm awake," Barry said, sitting up in a panic. The stallion heard a loud shriek and a thud come from below. "Bakery bandits!" the Pink Stallion shouted. "They've come to steal our dough!" The party pony tossed off his pajamas, grabbed a wiffle bat in his mouth, and ran downstairs to stop the robbery. As Barry entered the bakery, he didn't find any thieves. Instead, he found a familiar Griffin lying face down on the table. His arms and legs were tied down with ropes as his bottom hung over the edge of the table. The once proud Griffin was now humiliated as he lay bound on his stomach, presenting himself to the pink pony. Barry set the bat down and slowly approached the intruder. "Well, it looks like the cake's security measures are working just fine," Barry said as he circled the table, unable to take his eyes off of the Griffin. "So, Gideon, what brings you back to my little candy kitchen?" "Let me go, Dick Cheese!" the Griffin shouted indignantly. "Go screw yourself with a splintered rolling pin!" "Still a big meanie pants, I see," Barry said with a sad sigh. "Maybe you'll be nicer after one of my special private parties." "Private parties?" Gideon asked hesitantly. Barry ran a hoof over the immobilized Griffin's backside, causing Gideon to shiver. The Griffin's long tail twitched nervously as the stallion stared lustfully at the flaccid Griffin hood dangling below the table. "Gee, Gideon," Barry said coyly, "laying on that table all trussed up makes you look like a turkey." The horny pony leaned over the table and put his weight on Gideon's back. The Pink Stallion moved close to whisper in the Griffin's ear. "What do you say we make you a stuffed turkey?" Barry said threateningly. Gideon let out a loud gulp as the Pink Stallion went back upstairs to get some supplies. The Griffin looked around for anything that could help him escape. Gideon struggled against his restraints, but it was no use. He wasn't going anywhere. Got a story you'd like to hear read? Let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to rate and subscribe, or I'll take you to one of my private parties.